What is up, guys? This is going to be the Red Kidku spoilers video. I'll be doing a gameplay video right after this deck profile. I just want to show you guys what I have brewed up for this particular deck. Let's go into the leader ability. The leader ability lets you draw an attack. So it is unable to generate a +1 on the first turn. However, it makes up for it by utilizing a lot of the cards from the backside of this leader. It is awakened at only a 4 or less life. There's no alternative awakening condition. So this means that you have to find a way to take life until you go down to 4. There are several ways you can do that. The first way you can add the first way you can take off life is by adding using the activate main here once per turn. Add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, and then place up to 1 red skillless battle card from your deck to drop. Then shuffle your deck. So the point of being able to send the red skillless cards from your deck to the drop is that you can fetch them later, either from using your battle cards. Bulma is an example of this. It has an activate main limit 1. You can place this in your drop from your battle area, and then add a red skillless battle card on from the drop to your hand. Another way you can use is the 5-drop Goku as well. That allows you to play things from the drop area. So that's pretty much why you send things to the drop area on the early part of the game. On the backside, once it is awakened, it doesn't draw an attack. So you basically want to attack on the front side before you're able to awaken, because he does draw only when you play a red skillless battle card. So that's the only way you can do it, and it has to be an original skillless. So you can't just blank out a card using the negation on your opponent's side. So if your opponent negates the card skill, you won't be able to draw if you play it somehow. So anyways, the other ability that this card can do is that when your red battle card is played with 30k power or less, or it has to be actually 30k power or less, you have to choose one of your opponent's battle cards or unisons, and it gets minus 15k power for the turn. So this is really cool because this means that you can do 2 things on your opponent's turn. If you are able to play skillless battle cards on your opponent's turn, you're drawing a card, and if you're able to play a skillless battle card on your own turn, you're also drawing a card. So in one cycle between you and your opponent's turn, you're able to generate a +2. Additionally, if you are able to -1, -15k power on your opponent's side, you're generating a +3. So it just depends on what you're trying to do with it. So if you're negging your opponent's battle cards down to 0 and it gets KO'd as a result, not KO'd, but sent to the drop, and you're actually generating advantage there. Yeah, and then the other ability that you get to do is you get to play a red skillless battle card from your Z deck or your hand and negate this skill for the turn. So this allows you to free play battle cards from your hand, and that can be very useful in certain situations, especially since you want to draw cards on your turn as well. The idea is to play skillless battle cards on your opponent's turn as well as your own turn, and there's several ways you can do this. The way you can do this most fundamentally is going to be able to use your backside of the leader ability to play a skillless card on your turn, but on your opponent's turn, you can be using unisons such as the Jirobe unison. He's a Z unison that if you activate the +1 ability, you get to slip a 30k power battle card that is red underneath him from the battle area, and then from there it gets +5k in critical. So he does have the runaway mechanic where if your opponent plays any card whatsoever, you get to play a red skillless battle card from underneath this card and remove from the game. So this allows you to generally proc the ability of your leader to draw a card, and also minus 15k to a battle card or unison. That can be very useful if you're using your unison to kind of essentially run away, very like to the character in the Dragon Ball series, as he tries to run away from battle after showing a false bravado. Another way you can bring up battle cards that are skillless is the Chaozu. Siblings Trust. It is the SR of the set, and it is a counterplay card, so it requires you to, or it doesn't really require you, but you can play this card for free if you're on your opponent's turn if you have a red battle card with 30k power or more in play. So by playing this card out, it allows you to play out a skillless battle card from your drop, assuming you have 4 or less life, which you will almost always be at 4 or less life. This extra card right here, Super Water of the Gods, Exchange for Suffering, is a 1-cost extra card that you can play. It allows you to basically, when played, choose 2 of your life and then place it face up underneath this card. So this allows you to awaken really quickly to get you down to 4 life, but it does have another cool ability where it puts the life back from underneath this card. So if you have 2 cards underneath this card, you can place the 2 cards underneath this card back into your life, so that this way you're able to go back up to 6 life, so that you could pretty much survive. But the idea is to go down to 4 life so that you can enable stuff like your super combo, which requires you to have 4 or less life as one of them. And another card that allows you to activate at 4 or less life is the Explosive Dance here. And because you are able to activate this card at 4 or less life, you can pretty much floodgate your opponent as soon as turn 2, as so long as you have an energy up so you can play for this card. And allowing the floodgate to happen is very nice. So yeah, that's another reason why you want to play the Chaozu at 4 or less life, because the super water of the gods allows you to do so. So you want to play this as early as turn 2 when you're trying to awaken here. So in actuality, you're going to be taking 2 life on the front side when you're going first or second. And then on the next turn, you're going to be using Goku's ability to dump yet another vanilla skillless card from your deck to your drop area, and then taking another life, and then using this card right here to give you a false 2 life loss. Getting you down to 4 life so that you can draw 2 cards and awaken back on the back side of this. So those are kind of the cards that you want to try to keep in mind when trying to play a sort of a grind game against your opponent. You would definitely want to play cards on your opponent's turn so you can draw cards. So let's talk about the TN here. The TN here is a 1-cost card that you can play if you have 3 or more energy, and allows you to play a red skillless battle card from your deck. So this basically tutors out one of your vanilla cards, such as Launch, which is also another 30k vanilla, but you also have the Son Goku as well. And then this allows you to basically combo with him from the battle area, and it gives them a critical for the battle. So I imagine if you want to pay 1 energy to play the Goku out from your deck, you can attack with the Goku and then combo with the TN here, and then it'll get critical for the battle. So one way you can generate value by getting +1s that way by giving critical. So that's really cool. Card that you want to start off with in this game is the Bulma. Bulma is the card that you want to start off with because it does draw you a card, but it also allows you to fetch the skillless battle card from your drop in the event that you don't have any. And on the backside here, you could play the skillless battle card from your Z or your hand and negate the skill for the turn. So you're going to need ways to get the skillless card to your hand from your drop, and Bulma allows you to do that quite well. I forgot to mention another card that you can play on your opponent's turn, and it requires your opponent to basically KO or remove any of your battle cards that are Earthling other than Bulma to play this card. It's a very old card, very useful too. If you want to play a Earthling only battle card, you get to play it from your drop area. So you won't be able to play the Goku because he is not an Earthling card. He is a Saiyan card. But if you have Launch in your drop area and they try to remove Launch, for example, then you can definitely play the Bulma Bunny Girl and then play out the Launch from the drop area, and that'll proc the backside of your Goku ability to draw a card on your opponent's side of the turn. And this also allows you to have blocker as well, as she is providing that skill on your opponent's turn so that you can block and attack. One of your main finishers, another starter card that you can start off with is the Vengeance for a Friend. I only played 2 copies of this because you only really need to use this ability maybe once or twice, because you don't really want to search with this guy and then play a skills battle card on top right away. Even though it is free, you just don't want to waste too many cards out of your hand because you want to be using those cards for combo power, as well as techniques such as the Explosive Dance and the King's Vegeta, as well as the Chaozu. So keeping a big hand size is kind of the idea, and you kind of want to do that without having to waste too many cards. So that's why I only play 2 copies and more of the Bulma, because she is getting you a +1 and then getting you the skills card that you need. Launch is another card that you can play as well. Also, same, when you do play this card, you get to draw a card, but you can pay 1 energy and discard this card from your hand, and then add a red skills card from your drop to your hand, and you get to give your leader a +15k power for the turn. So if you think about this, when you're discarding this card from your hand and you are paying the 1 energy, you're giving essentially your leader a +15k for the battle, and you're adding a skillless card from your drop area back to your hand, and then you can combo that card away as well. So it's going to be an extra 5k that you can add on to your leader. So it's basically a 1 energy 20k combo power, which is kind of nice. But I only want to play 2 copies because I imagine I'm going to be using my energies for Explosive Dance as opposed to playing for the launch ability. But she is there in case you do desire to play it. Your boss monster is going to be the Attack to Save the World. This Goku here can be played for 2 red energy, and if your leader is red and you have a battle card with a 30k power or more, or your opponent does, you have to play a red skills battle card from your drop. So this is a really nice touch because you're able to generate a +1 by just playing him out from your hand, and you're getting 2 battle card attacks, one for himself and then one for the skillless. And then on top of that, you get to KO one of your opponent's battle card, ignoring barrier that costs 30k or less. So, very power crept card, I would say. Very good. For only 2 energy, you can basically KO anything, even including with barrier as well. So 30k power or less, it's very likely that this this card will come out and then do a lot of different damage to your opponent. If your opponent does have some like really high statted card, you can actually make it so that the auto of the ability of this triggers first, and it makes it so that their battle card loses 15k power. And if it's an SCR, for example, you can actually KO an SCR with this card in tandem with the leader skill on the backside, since you can make the autos pending in the order that you desire. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Another card that you can play that's a bit older, it's the yellow card Son Goku here, Duel with the Assassin. You can pay this card for 2 basically colorless energy, and as long as you have a originally skillless battle card with an energy cost of 3 in play, which you will, you can play 2 energy to play this card out. It is a 25k dual attack, which is kind of nice, and it allows you to basically rest 2 of your battle cards, your opponent's battle cards, or unisons, ignoring barrier, and switch it to rest mode. So you can also negate their skill as well. So it is a utility card that you can use in this deck, even though this is a red deck. Just be careful not to charge this card in your energy, because you want to be able to resolve your Raditz Saiyan Youth, which requires you to have all mono red energy. The SCR of choice is going to be the Son Goku Fist of Fate. It is the SCR of choice of the archetype, so I decided to play it because it's out of the set, and it has a pretty unique ability where you can pay 3 energy, assuming one of your 30k battle card is attacking or more. And then you get to basically choose this card, play it, and then now the attacking card is this card. So you basically have to kind of waste the attack of the 30k power card, and then make it so that this card's attacking. But that's not fine. That's totally okay, because he cannot be removed from the battle area by your opponent's skills. So this makes it so that it's very difficult to get rid of him. And he's going to be hitting for a triple strike, and he also allows you to combo all of your cards in your energy. So that's a optional ability, but if you want to be able to hit harder and use all the cards in your combo area or your energy area for one final push, this card allows you to do so for 3 energy. A little bit expensive, but I imagine at certain points of the game, this is going to be basically a guaranteed 3 damage. So I can see this being very useful, but not completely useful. Then we have the Master Roshi here, which is another form of removal. It allows you to choose one of your opponent's battle cards, and it places it underneath it for only 1 energy. So again, you do have to have 4 or less lives to play this guy out. But he does have an ability he's also a blocker. If he does get removed from the battle area by opponent's skill, you can place one of the battle cards from underneath this card into the opponent's battle area with the skills negated, and it can basically make it so that he can survive the removal. So a way to basically create insurance so that he doesn't get removed, and he is also a blocker. So kind of nice touch. But in today's metagame, minus 15k is really common, so I imagine that skill is not going to be useful. And also, resting battle cards is very prevalent as well. So I imagine he's going to be used very infrequently in this archetype, which is why I only have 2 copies of this card to allow you to just remove battle cards temporary, so that you can attack pretty much without any sort of obstacles in your way. Then we have the Yajirobe here, which is an interesting skill. Well, for 1 energy, you can play him out if you have 2 or more energy, and you get to add a skillless battle card from the energy cost of 3 from your drop to your hand. So for 1 energy, you can play a 15k and also play this guy out, swing with him, and then you can place this guy in the drop at the end of your turn, and then ready your restand one of your vanillas, and it gets blocker for until the end of your opponent's turn. So that gives you a sort of like an offense. However, just be careful that you are using your precious energy in order so that your cards can have blocker. So just keep in mind that if you're using that energy, it might be an opportunity cost if you don't have 0 energy left to play explosive dance for to be able to negate the attack. So just keep in mind that energy is very useful. So we do play the Yamcha Merciless Barrage because we have Z Unison in this, and it does have the ability to have 2 or more markers with the Yajirobe in play. So that's kind of nice, and we also have the Defeating the Demon. Only play 2 copies because I wanted to play more of the archetype, but it is kind of nice to play so long as you have Z energies in your Z cards in your battle area or leader. So that's pretty much it. A very simple deck, very linear. The last thing I forgot to mention is the Son Goku Z battle card. For only 2 Z energy and 1 regular energy. To be able to play this guy, you can reduce this guy by 2 if you have a 30k power more battle card in play. And then when this card is played, you can choose one of your opponent's battle card with 30k power or less and KO it. Very nice touch. So you're basically paying 1 energy to KO a 30k power or less, and it also allows you to activate battle. Choose one of your red battle cards with 30k power or more, place it in the drop, and it gets 9k power and double strike for the battle. So a very touching way so that you can do 25k and KO for only 1 energy, which is really nice. And of course, we have the vanilla that can be played from the Z deck for literally free on the backside of your leader ability. So you can draw a card without actually having to hard draw one of the 30ks. The only opportunity cost is that he's a 20k base stat as opposed to 30 with the launch and Goku. So that's going to be the trade-off for having a free battle card that you can play on the backside from your Z deck. So that's pretty much it. There's nothing else for the deck profile. I'm going to go over the gameplay video on the next portion of this video, so stay tuned for that. Alright, we're going to be doing a gameplay video just to see the progression of the decks as we go on. So we're going to draw our 6th card here, and it looks like we do open up with our Bulma, and we also have our boss battle card as well. So it looks like a pretty promising hand, so I'm going to be keeping this hand. So what we're going to do here is place the cards in our life area, and then we're going to start right off the bat. We're going to charge one of the Bulmas because we already have one in our hand. Pay the 1 energy to play this Bulma here to basically draw a card. And then we're going to use the ability of our leader here to take a card out of our life and then add it to our hand. And then we're going to look for our deck and then try to dump one of our battle cards that are skillless. We're going to dump the Goku here to the drop area, and that's going to allow us to play him out or even add it to our hand using the Bulma. That sounds like a good idea. So what we're going to do is send the Bulma to the drop area, and then we're going to add the skillless Goku back to our hand here. So far so good. On our opponent's turn, we do want to Z-charge 1. We're going to Z-charge the launch here by taking less damage, and then most likely they're going to pass there as they are going second. Unless they want to use the energy marker to do more damage, I imagine that's not going to be the case here. So we're going to take our turn again, and then we are going to charge one of our battle cards that we already have. We're going to charge our Chaozu since we already have 2 copies of it. And then from here, we're going to pay the 1 energy here to send the launch to the drop area. And then we're going to find a Super Water, the Super Water here of the gods. This card right here allows us to take 2 cards from our life and place it face up underneath it. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to do this. And then now with 2 cards underneath the Super Water, we only need to take 1 more life so that we can awaken. That's what we're going to do. We're going to take the life using the activate main here to add the last life here to go down to 4. And then we're going to add another card to our drop area, and we're going to send another, I want to say Goku. So let's send another Goku to the drop area here. Okay, let's move this up for some room here. So now that we're at 4 or less life, we don't want to awaken just yet. We do want to swing with this at least once to draw to attack, because he does draw on the front side, but not on the back side on attack. So we're going to draw the ability to draw a card here, and then we're going to mid-combat awaken the Goku here to draw 2. And then now we just have to play a skillless battle card to draw an extra card with this card. I imagine you just want to just keep it simple and keep it at 15, which is fine. If your opponent does have a battle card in play, you can actually just play out a skillless. We're going to play the Goku here for free using this ability, and then he's going to minus 15k, and then you're going to draw a card. So that's really nice. So I already have 4 life. You can actually use explosive dance right away. You don't have to find a way to get down to 4 because this card allows you to proc all the abilities of the explosive dance. So we're going to swing for 30k here and then keep it simple. On our opponent's turn, we can actually floodgate him right away on the first attack, I believe. And then if they wanted to swing with anything, they have to basically place cards in their Z energy into the drop so that they can attack. Most likely that's going to floodgate them out pretty well, and that's going to send it to the drop area. For example, if you do want to play a card from your drop area on your opponent's turn, you can actually just play the Chaozu here as well, because you do have 4 or less life. And this is going to allow you to play a skillless battle card on your opponent's turn. So we're going to play a launch out of the drop area, and this is going to allow us to proc our ability on our backside to draw a card and minus 15k to an opponent's battle card or unison. Additionally, if they do want to declare more attacks, you can actually combo away the Chaozu and place it in your Z energy. So already off to a good start. They're most likely floodgated out, so they're not going to swing any more than that. So the explosive dance finds a lot of utility. We're going to charge the Gohan here because we only have 1 Z card in our area. So there's multiple ways we can go about this at 3 or more energy. I'm going to keep it simple by attacking with everybody else first. And then we're going to play out the Tien Shinhan here, which allows us to play a skillless battle card from our deck. Let's just play Goku out because Goku is the main character in this archetype. We have 1 left, so we're going to play him out. And then since we did play a skillless card, just remember to draw a card off your leader side. And then you can swing with the 30k yet again, and then combo with the Tien Shinhan. And then he's going to be able to provide critical for the battle. And then now you have 2 energy in your Z energy. Now we can also play the 1 energy to play our Z battle card, but we're not going to do that per se. If we do want to find more removal, we could do that as well. So let's just swing with the leader first, and then don't forget to use the ability here on the to play out a battle card for free. So now we have 3 Gokus literally on turn 3 that's able to put a lot of pressure on. So for example, if on your opponent's turn or even your turn, or no, actually if it's your opponent's turn and one of your cards go to the drop area because of the opponent's skill, you can play the Bulma out from your hand to basically revive that same battle card and draw a card. So we could keep the 2 energy open, or we can just pay the 2 to play the Yajirobe. I don't really like either of those plays. Instead, I'm actually going to take back one of my moves, add the Goku back to our hand, and instead of playing a Goku from our hand, we're actually going to play the Tien Shinhan. So we want to be able to play this guy out and then get our draw and keep our Goku in our hands so that we have more combo power. So this is really important so that you can just keep a Tien out there. So from here, we can actually just play another Goku if we wanted to. But we're not going to tap out, so we're going to try to play the defensive game as much as possible. We could also use this ability later on to add cards from this card back to our life so that we don't kind of die. So on our opponent's turn, we can do the same thing we did before. We can use the explosive dance. And then, for example, if your opponent does remove one of your battle cards from play, let's say the launch, for example, then you can play the Bulma Bunny Girl, and if you revive an Earthling card such as the launch, and then you can just draw a card from there using the backside of this leader. Okay, so now we're going to go on to our 4 turn. We're going to charge our Bulma again because we don't need many copies of this. So we haven't really gone through the Master Roshi. We could have done it last turn in the event that your opponent does have a battle card that you want to play. But I imagine you guys can just imagine that I could just play this guy. But the card I want to go into is going to be our basically our battle card here, which allows us to play a red skills card from our drop. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to play our Goku from our drop area, and we're already putting a lot of pressure with 2 30k battle cards, one with the skill list and one with double strike. Don't forget that you could also use the ability to KO an SCR. An SCR will get reduced by 15k power, and they can KO that battle card, assuming, well, you can KO it no matter what, even if it has barrier. So yeah, so now you have 2 more attacks that can go in, and you can keep the 2 energy open for more defense. It looks like I don't really have any way of defending myself, so I'm going to be able to draw with the Raditz here. Basically bottom decking the launch because I want to have skills cards in my deck. Draw into 2 more launch, and then it looks like I have a Tien Shinhan here. So pretty straightforward so far. We're going to go into our deck here to see what we haven't done so far. We haven't played the Duel from the Assassin, but I imagine you guys can imagine that. Useful for being able to tap down cards. We haven't done the Yajirobe, and we haven't done the SCR. So we're going to do the Yajirobe play, and then the SCR I'm just going to add it to my hand for later points of the game. So Yajirobe here is a card that you can add a red skillless card. So if you have a red skillless card in your drop area, you can add it back to your hand. So let's say one of your Goku dies for some reason. You can add it back to your hand using this ability. And then you can attack for 15k using the Yajirobe. And then use his ability to restand one of your leaders or your skills card and gets blocker for the turn. So that's going to be nice. For example, if you do have a 30k that is attacking with one of your skillless, it doesn't even have to be a skillless, but you can pay the attack for 30k and then play the SCR of choice, and he's going to be the one attacking, and then you can combo with everything in your energy to attack for pretty much lethal for some example, and he can't be removed, which is really nice. Only thing we haven't gone over so far is the Z battle. We haven't done the Yajirobe either, but I imagine you guys can imagine it. If Yajirobe is on the board here, you can actually slip underneath one of the Gokus, and then if your opponent plays any battle card with this, so let's say, let's move the Bulma here. The Yajirobe can use the runaway mechanic to remove him from play, and then play the Goku on your opponent's turn, and that allows you to proc the draw ability on your backside. So that's something you could do. Goku is also the other card we didn't play yet. For 1 energy, you can play this guy out, and then he can KO something, and then also place one of your 30k battle cards or more and place it in the drop area so that it'll have double strike. So you can place the T in here as well. Sorry, you can place the Goku to the drop area, and it gets for 25k. That could be useful if you want to revive things out of your drop area. But for now, yeah, that's pretty much it. We've already gone through all of the deck. Sometimes you want to play the launch here to pay the 1 energy so that you can discard her and then provide 15k power to your leader attack here. So pretty straightforward. So there's not much else to say about this leader. It's a pretty solid leader, I would say. Can't go wrong. It's pretty balanced. I wouldn't say it's extremely broken by any means, but it's very strong for some matchups, especially if the matchups don't have any way to deal with battle cards. But yeah, that's pretty much all the gameplay videos there is. I just want to show you guys how the deck kind of flows turn by turn. Hope you guys see you guys on the next video for the King Piccolo Wish Leader, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.